Konnichiwa and welcome everybody back to Chrono Reviews. It's time for another Jurassic World toy from Mattel, and this time it's another Legacy collection, which I also have to buy online because it's a Target exclusive, so they're not available in Sweden. But that's no problem as long as internet exists and that the eBay sellers do not scalp me. I don't want to pay overpriced for something that's still in retail. But luckily enough, those exclusives are, well, they are exclusive to those stores, but I think they are made in quite great numbers because I assume they sell pretty well because they are really good. And classic Jurassic Park dinos, who can say no? What I also like is that this is a totally fresh sculpture. They made a totally fresh sculpture for a dinosaur that's not in Fallen Kingdom, and they made it really great. And I mean, they really put the effort, even if it's exclusive. They didn't just repaint something. I mean, a few parts are probably the same as the battle damage version of the Pachy, maybe the legs and stuff, but it does not have the same action features, so they still have to do a lot of stuff from scratch. And they really put out a lot of effort into those toys, and I really appreciate that. Now getting on to the package. This one have the standard package for Legacy, which is my favorite. I've said that before, but it's my favorite layout because it's so classic to see the T-Rex here, and the colors are really striking, and I like the orange logo. And here it describes the action. Actually, when I got it, I did like this. I did this. No! Is it broken? Because I was expecting it to work like the Lost World version. So I was not, no. But then I accidentally tried the tail and hey, that's how it works. And there's logo there too, and it clearly says on the back side that you pull the tail to do the action. You don't need to press the head in. There's also Jurassic Facts app available on this one too, and it shows others from the Legacy collection, even those who are not available yet. I think the Dilophosaurus are about to release, and the same with the Jurassic Park 3 Raptor, but I think that Pteranodon, the Orange Raptor from the Lost World, and the juvenile T-Rex are out. Alright, here it is, the Pachycephalosaurus, opened up from its package, and this one really resembles the one from the Lost World. I mean, it really does. I really love it. It's so cool. It makes me wish that the Pachy had a part of Fallen Kingdom, because where were all the Pachys? Why didn't they save any Pachys? But its younger cousin, the Stygimoloch, is in the movie at least, and I totally love that creature. I really love the scene it was in too. I mean, the Stygimoloch, I'm not going to spoil the scene, but it was great to have another scene feature a herbivore doing a big impact. We haven't seen that since the Lost World, where the Stegos and where the Triceratops wrecks the camp, but still, it was mostly the spotlight on the Stegos. But back to the Pachycephalosaurus, it had a little part of the Lost World where they captured it and it rammed into the car, and it also rammed stuff in the camp, and it was pretty cool. I really like that. And it's a classic dinosaur that's really nice to have a figure of. And since it's the Legacy collection, this is the Lost World version. And getting into detail, first off, the Jurassic Facts app for this creature. And secondly, it have a nice paint job. It have the classic blue stripes of the Pachy from the Lost World. It have a beige color on the body, and it also have a brighter underbelly, which is also the same color as on the dome. And it have blue around its eyes, nicely painted little eyes. There are yellow eyes, and I think that looks great. There's careful attention to details. It have the classic posture of the Pachy's arms. And it's pretty much spot on. An articulation, it have a ball jointed head, so you can turn the head in the direction you will ram stuff. And the arms, they are ball jointed. And the legs, they go out and inward slightly, and they're a little bit getting into fixed positions, sort of, just like most of the toys. And this leg is a little bit loose on mine, so it makes slightly difficult to make it stand at times because the rear leg slips a little bit. It makes it slightly tricky. It is actually a little bit tricky. I will see if I can get something to do something. But this, I think the clicking into position is just like with the T-Rex. If you hold it like this, the leg should not go back too easy, because when you pull the tail down, you can do this like with a gun to have it ram stuff. So the tail goes down like this, the head goes back, and then rams. It's both good or bad, because if it was available to be clicked in like this and then triggered, you could like more easily get it into position you want and then shoot away. But at the same time, this makes the action a little bit easier to use in a way as well. And the size of the Pachy, it is actually slightly bigger than it is in the Lost World. It's about, I think it's closer to the scientific size of the Pachy, because the Pachy in the Lost World, as far as I know, is too small. But the size of the Pachy in the Lost World is about what the Stygimoloch have in Fallen Kingdom. So I think they chose to have the Pachy being bigger because they are. So I'm not sure if it was juvenile in the Lost World, maybe it was. But it's it should be slightly smaller, but it still looks good. Just to know, I compare with this Raptor now because it looks better than the Attack Pack. So I think it should be about the same size as a Raptor. That would have been good. But still, it's actually good to see it larger. But it's not too large. I will get to that in just a little bit. But first, here's Alan Grant. I think this is about scientific size. And in the Lost World they were probably like this. Maybe a little bit bigger. It's hard to tell. But this, it's still a good size. I mean, it's a good size of a dinosaur. Yeah, it's good. And now, when talking size, let's bring in a relic. A relic from the Lost World. Here is the Lost World Pachy. It's big and it's powerful. This is a relic of immense power, something that could like make kids cry. I mean, this thing have such a force. It hurts. I mean, you can hear the power, the force behind this thing. It's like thunder, boom. And it's dangerous, literally dangerous for kids to use, because if someone goes up like this and fires it off in the face of his or her younger brother or sister, they will sure to cry. I mean, it's awesome to have something like this because it's really impressive. But as a toy point of view, it can be a little bit dangerous. And they cancelled the trike from the Lost World, the big one, because the horns were too pointy. They could just made the horns in rubber. And like, they still sold this. It's really powerful. So let's put those two into a little test. A test. Let's bring out the victim. The victim is the Velociraptor. I'm gonna punch this to the face and see what happens. So, first off, we have Mattel Pachy. Let's load it up. It's a quite weak punch. I mean, you can do rapid ramming like this, but it's definitely more friendly for kids. Now, for the joy of doing it, let's kick the big Pachy. It's a lot more force. And just for the fun of it, look how he flew. And this tiny little Owen. Alright. Well. I'm not going to ram away Blue though, because Blue, I don't want to risk breaking the raptor. I know the human can take it, but this one have more joints like the neck and stuff, I mean. Alright. This Pachy, the big one, the underside here and those rubber dinosaurs are in general very accurate. And this one have the details of the Lost World Pachy. It really have. It have a deeper blue, a sharper deeper blue, which is the color overall on this one is more accurate than this one to the actual Pachy. It actually are. But the posture and clean sculpture on this one is a lot better. The posture is more accurate, and in general it's more accurate. This one is just wins it for on a few parts. And I mean, this gap here, well, it's not supposed to look good in this posture, but the gap there could, since it's rubber, well, it's quite hard rubber because this wound part is very hard to remove. It's even harder to put back, so I'm not going to remove it. This part could have been slim onto the neck. Since the neck is slimmer near the head, it would not be a problem to push it back anyway, so I think they should have made the gap tighter. This one looks a lot better on that part. So if I have to put a favorite on those two, this one is my favorite on the sculpture part. But it's always a sadistic joy to use this incredible force. But let's not play anything more with that right now, because this little Pachy, it's a really good toy. I mean, I wish the leg was not that loose on mine, but I'm pretty sure not every one of them are like that, so. This little Pachy is a nice addition to the Legacy collection, and I must say I highly recommend this one. Like most of the Legacy stuff, it's awesome. The Legacy stuff are my favorite toys among the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom toys from Mattel, and they're doing a really great job at completing. Another toy I'm really looking forward to get, that I'm going to buy as soon as I can afford it, which is in a week or so, is the Spinosaurus. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and rumor says it even have painted fingernails. Or I've seen reviews of it, it does. And that's a huge plus. They learn, as Robert Muldoon says. I'm not sure if that's a permanent thing or just on the spine now, but it's a good thing. And this one does not have any painted nails at all, which is about the trend on the herbivores, it seems, but it's still good. It's a really good toy. It have enough colors to look great, and it really does the part. I really look forward to getting the Stygimolochs now, because I need the ramming action one. And, well, I love Stygimoloch. It was such an awesome creature in the movie. I just wish that it would interact with a Pachy or something, because Pachys are a classic fan favorite. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed the review, and maybe you get a Pachy because he's really good. Take care, sayonara.